guys, I'm Mark from Podcast and welcome to week 38, also known as the last episode of the Premier League review for this season. So this is it, 9 months have been leading up to this day, although everything is pretty much sorted, like the winner, all of the relegation places. There is still one hot spot left, and that is the race for 3rd and 4th, so we're going to start off with those games today. But anyway, here are the past set of Premier League results. These games were all played on Sunday, the 21st of May 2017. Next to the games are the times in this video, so if you want to hear about a specific match, just go to the time next to the match and just skip out all the other crap. But without further ado, let's get into our first match. We start with Watford versus Manchester City. Manchester City went into this game knowing that a point was enough to get them Champions League football and a win was enough to secure them 3rd place. So it was a perfect start, as in the 5th minute Man City took the lead through their captain Vincent Kompany. It came when the ball was in the box and it fell to Kompany, who was completely free 12 yards out from goal. He was able to pick his spot and plant a header into the corner. And Man City doubled their lead 20 minutes later when Sergio Aguero got the goal. It was terrible defending again from Watford, as they gave Kevin De Bruyne too much time in the middle and he was able to set up Aguero, who finished into the side net. And Man City would have the game won in the first half as they added their 3rd in the 36th minute. It came when Man City were defending, but all it took was 2 passes to turn defence into attack. It ended with Leroy Sané bursting his way into the box and he laid off Sergio Aguero, who finished for his 2nd of the match. And Man City would add their 4th just before half time when Fernandinho got on the score sheet. It came when the Watford defenders put in 3 poor tackles and the Brazilian just walks his way into the box and passes into the corner. And Man City got their 5th in the 58th minute through wonder kid Gabriel Jesus. It came when Sergio Aguero broke free on the right hand side and he floated across into the area, which Jesus chested down. The Watford defenders had plenty of chances to get it clear, but they failed and Jesus casually chipped the ball into the net. And that's how the game would end, an extremely comfortable win for Man City, who not only secured Champions League football, they also finished 3rd. The Watford defenders were basically already around the summer holidays, as it looked like they just didn't try. But anyway, with this result, Man City finished the season in 3rd, and Watford actually dropped on the cusp of the relegation zone in 17th. And we move on to Arsenal versus Everton. Arsenal went into this game needing a win to keep their hopes of top 4 alive, as if they won and Liverpool drew or lost, then they would steal top 4 from Liverpool. So it was a great start, and in the 7th minute they took the lead through right back Hector Bellerin. It came when Mesut Ozil played a ball into Danny Welbeck, who completely miscued the shot, but the Spaniard was there to pick up the pieces as he side-footed into the net. But the game will get a lot tougher for Arsenal, as in the 15th minute they were reduced to 10 men when their captain Laurent Koscielny got sent off. I'm not too sure why, as let's be honest, I wasn't watching this, but I've read and seen it looked like he went in a bit recklessly on Enner Valencia and he got shown a red card, which means that he will miss the FA Cup final next Saturday. But Arsenal didn't seem to care that they were down to 10 men, as in the 27th minute they went 2-0 up through Alexis Sanchez. The move actually started with Sanchez as he struck the ball from some distance, but the keeper can only parry it into the path of Danny Welbeck. But Welbeck didn't show the striker's instinct, as he didn't try to score himself. Instead, he played around with it before laying off to Sanchez, who then tapped in. But Everton would get the perfect chance to get back into the game when they were given a penalty in the 60th minute. It came when Nacho Monreal was deemed to have handballed it in the area. Romelu Lukaku stepped up to take it and he finished it comfortably. But Arsenal would wrap the game up in the 90th minute when Aaron Ramsey got his 1st league goal of the season. It came when Ramsey had the ball on the edge of the area and he chipped the ball into the top corner past Joe Robles. And that's how the game would end, and I've done this for a reason. I know a lot of you know where each team finished, but just in case you didn't, I've spiced it up for you. Arsenal deserved the win. They picked up 3 points in their quest for top 4, and with this result Arsenal were in 4th and Everton finished in 7th. But would Arsenal stay 4th, or did Liverpool steal it? Let's find out. As we move on to Liverpool versus Middlesbrough. It was a tense first half for Liverpool fans, as news was coming through that Arsenal were 2-0 up. And it looked like it was going into half-time 0-0, but on the brink of half-time Liverpool got a massive goal in the top 4 race. It came when a ball is played into the box on the right hand side and in ran Gini Wijnaldum, who smashed the shot into the net at the near post. And Liverpool doubled their lead 5 minutes into the second half when Philippe Coutinho got a goal. It came when Liverpool had a free kick about 25 yards out from goal, and I knew that it was coming at this point. In fact, I even turned to my dad and went, bet £5 this goes in. Coutinho stepped up to take the free kick and he gets it round the wall into the corner of the net. £5 in my back pocket. Cheers, Phil. And Liverpool would secure top 4 5 minutes later when Adam Lallana made it 3-0. It actually started as a Middlesbrough corner, but Liverpool broke quickly and it ended up being 4 Liverpool attackers versus 2 Middlesbrough defenders. The break ended with Gini Wijnaldum heading the ball into the path of Adam Lallana, who slotted home. And that is how the game would end. Oh my god, I am so happy. I know people may take the piss that I am happy to get top 4, but you've got to think, we don't get this often anymore, so I'm ecstatic. My aim every season is get European football. I don't go into a season saying, let's win the league, because I'm fucking realistic. I know that with our current team, we can't win the league. I'm just grateful that we've done so well with a team that is, let's be honest, mediocre. But this result meant Liverpool clinched that final Champions League spot, which, you know, we will have to do qualifiers for. And Arsenal finished in 5th, meaning that Arsenal missed out on Champions League football for the first time in 20 years. That is mad. But like I said, Liverpool finished the season 4th and Middlesbrough finished in 19th. I hope to see you back soon, Middlesbrough. Not anytime soon though, because you've been quite shit this season. And now we move on to the games that don't really mean anything, such as Hull versus Tottenham. Tottenham took the lead in the 10th minute through Harry Kane. It was a pretty simple goal as Kane had the ball outside the area, smashed it with his left foot, back of the net. And Tottenham doubled their lead 3 minutes later when Harry Kane got his second. It came when Eric Dyer decides to turn into Pirlo as he played a world-class over-the-top ball to Kieran Trippier. Trippier then squared it to Harry Kane, who tapped into the net. And Spurs got their third on the brink of half-time through Dele Alli. It came when the Spurs top 3 combined as Harry Kane gave it to Son Heung-min. Son then cut the ball back to Ali, who placed it into the corner. But Hull would get one back 20 minutes into the second half when Sam Clucas got a goal. It came when Oumar Niasse played a back heel inside the box and Sam Clucas smashed a deflected shot into the bottom corner. But Spurs would retake their 3-goal lead when Victor Wanyama got their 4th. It came when Christian Eriksen floated the ball to the back post and there unmarked was Wanyama, who nodded into the net. And Harry Kane completed his hat-trick in the 72nd minute when he made it 5-1. It was terrible defending from Hull as 2 poor touches allowed Dele Alli to nip in and he was able to play a pass to Harry Kane. He was one-on-one with the keeper and he side-footed it home. And Spurs would grab their 6th in the 64th minute. It came when a free kick was whipped into the area and it looked like Hull had it sorted as Hull headed it out. But Ben Davies was there to smash the ball into the top corner from the edge of the box. And Spurs would get their 7th in the dying ends of the match. Kieran Trippier crossed the ball into the box, Son Heung-min went for the header, he missed it, but behind him was Toby Alderweireld who put it home. And that is how the game would end. What else can I add? Tottenham are turning into a force to be reckoned with. I'm calling it now, Premier League winners next season, Tottenham. They're going to do it sooner rather than later, and I'd say sooner is next season, if not the season after. In the next 3 years, Tottenham would have won the Premier League. Tottenham finished the season strong as they sent Hull packing to the Championship, and with this result Tottenham finished in 2nd, which was guaranteed anyway, but they put their stamp on it and Hull finished inside the relegation zone in 18th. And we move on to Chelsea versus Sunderland. It was a shock start for this game as Sunderland took the lead in the 3rd minute through Javier Manquillo. It came as Seb Larsson took a free kick that it was blocked by the Chelsea wall but fell to Manquillo, who was free, and he smashed it home. But the lead wouldn't last long as 5 minutes later Chelsea equalised. Marco Alonso struck the bar with a shot and the Sunderland defence failed to clear it and it fell to Willian, who rifled the ball home. And Chelsea took the lead in the 60th minute through Eden Hazard. It was a moment of magic as Diego Costa played it to Hazard on the edge of the box and the Belgian made a bit of space for himself before smashing the ball back across the keeper and into the back of the net. And Chelsea had the game won in the 78th minute when Pedro added their 3rd. It came when Johnny Lescott had a nightmare moment as he tried to head the ball back to the keeper, but he instead ends up lobbing him and in ran Pedro to head into the net for the easiest goal he's ever going to get. And Chelsea got their 4th in the 90th minute when Michy Batshuayi got on the score sheet for the 3rd game in a row. It came when Batshuayi was played through on goal and he stabbed into the net. But Batshuayi wasn't done there as 2 minutes later he added the 5th. It came when Cesc Fabregas played a great ball through to Batshuayi, who fired into the top corner. And that's how the game would end, a win for Chelsea on the last day of the season, capping off an excellent season for them. This is their 30th win this season, which is a new record. That just goes to show how great of a season that it was for them. Said it all before, congratulations Chelsea, well deserved. They were the better side for most of the season, and with this result Chelsea ended their title winning season in style and Sunderland ended their horrible season with another loss. And we move on to Manchester United versus Crystal Palace. Manchester United opened the scoring in the 15th minute when Josh Harrop started his Man United career off perfectly as he scored on his senior debut. It was a great goal as Harrop made his way into the box from the left, made his way through the Palace defence and curled into the net. And Man United doubled their lead in the 19th minute when Paul Pogba got a goal. It came when Jesse Lingard set the ball through to Pogba, who slotted home from inside the box. And that's how the game would end, and it was a pretty boring game after those two goals, to be honest. Nothing else really happened after this, so yeah, nothing else I can really add apart from with this result. Man United finished in 6th and Crystal Palace finished in 14th. And we move on to Burnley versus West Ham. Burnley took the lead in the 23rd minute through Sam Vokes. It came when Andre Gray crossed the ball in from the right, and the ball is left by Scott Arfield, and there to tap in was Sam Vokes. But West Ham would equalise 5 minutes later through Sofiane Feghouli. It came when Andre Ayew flicked the ball through with a nice back heel, and on the end of it was Feghouli who finished from inside the box. And West Ham would take the lead in the 72nd minute through Andre Ayew. It came when a great shot from 20 yards out rattles the bar, but the bounce back completely fools Tom Heaton, and it fell to Andre Ayew, who couldn't miss as he headed into the net from point blank range. And that's how the game would end. A good way to finish a very mediocre season for West Ham, who completely flopped considering what they did last year. And with this result, West Ham finished in 11th and Burnley dropped to 16th. And we move on to Swansea versus West Brom. It was a pretty boring game with no real chances, but West Brom were pressing, and it was no surprise when they took the lead in the 34th minute. It came from a corner as it is put into the box, and Johnny Evans rose highest to head into the net. But Swansea levelled the scoring in the 72nd minute when Jordan Ayew got the equaliser. Like most Swansea goals, they started with the Icelandic international Gylfi Sigurdsson as he swung in a free kick which flicked on, and Jordan Ayew was out at the back post to turn the ball home. And Swansea would complete the comeback as they took the lead in the 86th minute through Fernando Llorente. It was a decent goal as a cross is put into the box, and Llorente was on hand to volley into the back of the net. And that's how the game would end. A good win for Swansea, who sealed off their pretty dismal season. Gotta think, a couple of weeks ago they were in the bottom 3 and looking favourites to be relegated, but with the recent run of form they've turned it around as this was their 3rd win in a row, and those wins meant that they have finished in 15th, whilst West Brom, who looked on course for a top 8 finish, actually dropped down to 10th. And we move on to Leicester versus Bournemouth. This game had the pleasure of having the first goal of the final day, as less than a minute into the game, Bournemouth took the lead through Junior Stanislas. It was such a sloppy goal to concede as 2 Leicester players missed the ball, and the ball runs through to Stanislas and he kept the ball low and it zipped across the floor into the back of the net. But Leicester would level the scoring in the 50th minute when Jamie Vardy got his 16th league goal of the season. It came when Ben Chilwell crossed the ball in, and it was nodded down by Islam Slimani, and Jamie Vardy ran in and tapped into the net. And that's how the game would end. The point is probably the right result, and Leicester's championship defending season is over, and they'd probably be grateful for that, as now the pressure's off them a little bit. And with this result, Bournemouth recorded their highest ever finish as they ended up in 9th, and Leicester finished in 12th. And the last game of the season, we've got Southampton versus Stoke. It would take until the 60th minute for one of these teams to score, and it was Stoke who took the lead through Peter Crouch. It was a typical Crouch goal as Jeff Cameron crossed the ball in, Peter Crouch converted it with his noggin. And that is how the game would end. It was a pretty boring game, no real chances, but with one of the only chances that they had, Stoke made it count. And with this result, Southampton actually ended up in 8th and Stoke finished in 13th. Right, so that's all the fixtures I've got for you this season. Before we go, let's take a look at the Premier League table and top goal scorers. Just this time, I'm going to show you the entire table. So here is the bottom 10. And as you can see, Sunderland, Middlesbrough and Hull fill out those relegation places and will play in the Championship next season. Watford and Burnley both ended up on 40 points, which is poor for Watford considering that they were doing decent earlier on in the season. They've just threw it away. Swansea and Crystal Palace both looked favourites to go down, but they had a great second half of the season, both ending on 41 points. Stoke finished in 13th. The reigning Premier League champions couldn't remake that last magical season as they ended up in 12th, and West Ham ended in 11th. Moving on to the top 10, and West Brom dropped off a bit as they were in 8th for most of the season, but they haven't won since March, and that has cost them as they ended up in 10th. Like I said, Bournemouth recorded their highest ever Premier League finish as they finished up in 9th. Southampton had a decent end to the season as they finished in 8th. Everton finished in 7th. Manchester United, they ended up in 6th, obviously. Arsenal missed out on Champions League football for the first time in over 20 years as they finished in 5th. Liverpool clinched Champions League football for the first time in about 3 or 4 years as they finished in 4th, but that means that they'll have to do qualifiers. Manchester City ended up in 3rd. Tottenham had arguably their best season ever as they finished in 2nd. And Chelsea set a new record, winning 30 league games in a season, on their way to finishing top of the league and claiming their 5th Premier League championship. Moving on to the top goal scorers, and as you can see, Harry Kane picked up the golden boot with his hat-trick against Hull and his 4 goals midweek, so that boosted him up to 29 goals and 7 assists. Romelu Lukaku missed out despite adding a goal to his tally against Arsenal. He finished on 25 goals and 6 assists. Speaking of Arsenal, Alexis Sanchez, in what is possibly his last season at Arsenal, ended up on 24 goals and 10 assists. Diego Costa, for the most part of the season, was looking like he was going to pick up the golden boot, but he went off the radar for a bit and he finished on 20 goals and 7 assists. And making up the top 5 in Sergio Aguero with his 2 goals against Watford, that made him finish on 20 goals as well, but on 3 assists. Right, so that's all I've got for you this season. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll be back in August for the first episode of the 2017-2018 season of the Premier League review. So that's it. It's been a great season. It's had its highs, it's had its lows, and I'm just talking about being a Liverpool fan. We were top of the league at one point. I don't really know what I'm going to do with myself for the next 3 months. I'll just go into a coma. There isn't even an international tournament to keep me occupied, so fuck. But anyway, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can. The link is in the description, or it's at @portionofsport_. If you want to follow me on Twitter or subscribe to my personal YouTube channel, you can. The links to both of those are in the description as well. Or my channel should be popping on the screen roundabout now. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching this season. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. I've been Mark from A Portion of Sport, and I'll see you soon.